welcome to our video with title Tesco Profit Scandal, a corporate governance case. In the video, we will explore one of the most well-known accounting scandals in the UK retail industry that involving Tesco PLC. Our goal is to explain what happened, who was responsible, and what lesson can be learned from this scandal. Corporate governance is very important because it helps companies to stay honest, protect customers, and build trust with the public. Tesco case show how serious the result can be when a company fails to follow the ethical rule. Let's move to the company background, which is Tesco PLC is a well-known retail company from the United Kingdom. It was founded in 1919 by a man named Jack Cohen, who started by selling groceries at a market store in London. Since then, Tesco has grown into one of the biggest supermarket chains in the world. The company sells groceries, clothes, electronics, and also offer banking service through the Tesco Bank. Tesco has thousands of stores in the UK and has operated in many countries around the world, such as Ireland, Hungary, and previously in Malaysia and Thailand. It is listed on the London Stock Exchange and is a part of the FTSE 100 index, which includes the top company in the UK. Tesco is known for its slogan "Every Little Help," which means small effort can make a big difference. But in 2014, a big mistake in their financial report will cause a major scandal and damage to the company.
In the 2014 Tesco accounting scandal, several senior executives played key roles in the crisis. One of the main figures was Philip Clark, the CEO of Tesco from 2011 to 2014. Although he was not officially charged, his leadership was criticized from putting unrealistic pressure on profit target. Chris Bush, the managing director of Tesco UK, and Carl Robert, the UK finance director, were both accused of manipulating the company's financial statement. They were involved in a method called early income recognition, which means recording income earlier than it was actually earned, to cover a profit shortfall estimated at around £250 to £326 million. Another important person was John Scholar, Tesco Food Commercial Director. He was also charged alongside Bush and Robert. Although no criminal convictions were made, the scandal had a huge impact on Tesco's reputation. The company paid over $235 million in fines and compensation to authorities and investors. This case highlights how decisions made by top executives can have serious consequences for financial integrity, public trust, and a company's future.
Taking a closer look at one of the biggest corporate scandals in British retail history, the 2014 Tesco accounting scandal. What started as a routine financial review quickly turned into a fully blown investigation, costing the company millions and shaking public's trust. The scandal first surfaced in September 2014 when Amit Soni, a senior accountant within Tesco finance team, raised a serious concern. He reported that the company had booked income from suppliers prematurely, inflating its profit by hundreds of millions. Tesco initially estimated the profit overstatement at £250 million, but the figure was later revised to £263 million as confirmed by the Ethics Unwrapped and the UK Serious Fraud Office. The issue lay in the misuse of commercial income, money Tesco receives from suppliers in return for prime shelf space, discounts and promotions. Instead of reporting this income when it was earned, Tesco recorded it early, creating the illusion of healthier profits. This manipulation was illegally done to meet internal financial targets, maintain share prices, and present a stronger front to investors. The scandal triggered a criminal investigation by the Serious Fraud Office (SFO). 3 senior Tesco executives were charged in connection to the scandal: Carl Rockberg, Finance Director; Chris Bush, Managing Director; John Scholar, Food Commercial Director. They faced charges of fraud by abuse of position and false accounting. However, in 2019, all charges were eventually dropped due to the insufficient evidence, despite years of legal proceedings. However, in the end, the consequences were served. Tesco agreed to a £129 million deferred prosecution agreement with the SFO. An additional of £45 million compensation package was paid out to investors who suffered loss. Also, the company's share price took a major hit and senior leadership was reshuffled. In the end, the Tesco scandal wasn't just about bad accounting. It was about leadership failure, corporate culture, and the risk of rewarding short-term gain over the long-term integrity.
Now, what happened to the people involved in the Tesco accounting scandal? In 2014, Tesco was found to have overstayed its profits by £263 million. This led to the suspension of 8 senior executives. The main individuals involved were Chris Bush, Tesco UK Managing Director, Carl Robert, the UK Finance Director, and John Scotland, the Commercial Director for Food. All three were charged with fraud and false accounting by the UK Serious Fraud Office in 2016. However, after a long legal process, the case against them was dropped in 2019 due to insufficient evidence. So, in the end, none of them were jailed or convicted. Even though they did not go to prison, the scandal seriously damaged their reputations and careers. As for Tesco, the company paid a fine of £129 million under a deferred prosecution agreement and took internal action against those involved.
Next, we talk about how Tesco accounting scandal affected various stakeholders. This scandal was not just a financial issue, it had widespread consequences on people, institutions, and public trust. First, let's talk about the investor and shareholder. When Tesco announced that it had overstayed its profit by hundreds of millions of pounds, the market reacted immediately. Tesco's share price plunged by over 10% in a single day. This led to huge financial loss for both individual and institutional investors. Many people saw their retirement savings or investment portfolio shrink overnight. It also shocked public trust in Tesco and raised serious concern about transparency and accountability in UK stock market as a whole. Next slide is secondly is the impact on Tesco employees was also significant. The internal investigation created a lot of uncertainty. Several staff members, especially in finance and management, were laid off or transfer, cost-cutting measure, and internal restructuring costs stressed through the company. As a result, employee morale dropped and many staff fear losing their job. The scandal damaged the trust between employees and upper management, which is essential for a healthy work environment. Third, the scandal also affected Tesco customers. Many customers began to question whether they could still trust the company. Some shoppers chose to switch to competitors such as Sainsbury and Asda due to the negative publicity and lack of confidence. Tesco's image as a reliable and responsible brand was badly hurt, and it struggled to regain customer loyalty in the short term. Finally, the scandal had an effect on regulator and the government. The UK Serious Fraud Office (SFO) had to launch a large-scale criminal investigation into Tesco financial misconduct. This requires significant public resources to prosecute the case. In response, there was a growing pressure on the government to tighten corporate governance rules, increase transparency requirements, and impose stricter penalties on companies involved in the financial fraud. In conclusion, the Tesco scandals impacted a wide range of people, from shareholders and employees to customer and government agencies. It served as a powerful reminder that unethical financial practice can create long-lasting damage across all levels of society.
Last one is conclusion and lesson learned of the Tesco. For the conclusion, basically the Tesco 2014 accounting scandal shows how poor financial oversight and weak internal controls can lead to serious consequences. by overstating profits by 263 million, Tesco lost investor trust, faced legal action, and also damaged its reputation. While for the lesson learned, first is good corporate governance is an essential. Second is strong internal controls can help prevent fraud. Third is transparency builds the public and investor trust. Fourth is leaders must be accountable for their actions. And the last one is fraud affects all stakeholders, not just the company.